Good morning, replayers. I'm a little bit early. I'm wanting to kind of get my voice going. I've not been sleeping well, so I overslept a little bit. So I got my shower. I got my coffee. And here I am. Hello, Melody loves her hobbies. Thank you. My voice is rough. I apologize. Things going well for you? I can't find the journal I write stuff in. Oh, thank you. This is the last time I was making teacher aprons. I made several others to sell. Good morning, Gail. I did. I kept hearing this echo and could not figure out what it was. But I decided to keep my favorite. It even has this cute little pocket. I'm happier you're here than I am. See this cute little pocket? I hate there's a lag. There's a 10-second lag. So anyway, it is what it is. I'm going to jelly plate today. And I hope that people who have done that, thanks, Melody, will help. So if you have a jelly plate and you want to play along, you can. I have all kinds of stuff. I have laces I pulled. I have paper towels. I've got alcohol inks I watched Devin play with. I've got paints. I've got Distress Oxide paints. And this is some of the stuff I did yesterday. For the first time ever, I got to play with my jelly plate without help. So that was kind of fun. But I did this. And I did this. And what I used is when Emerson does it, I'm having coffee too. This is only my first cup. Then I go to hot tea. But she uses too much paint. So I took her jelly prints as my background. And this was a paper doily stencil. I think it was a stencil. I need to do more with it, I think. These are just little cardboard things I found. That's a stencil. I think I kind of like right now using objects. I'm not real good at the stencil part. Me neither, Melody. I've been up so many times in the night. I played multiple beds. For 3 nights now, I've not slept good. And I don't know what is with that. I can't stay asleep. And I take melatonin when that's a problem. And I'm on sleeping medicine for my fibromyalgia. I thought this turned out really cool. And that was a stencil. And then I played with my other, this is unbleached parchment paper. Oh, thanks, Gail. Sooner or later, I will fall asleep. I am really trying hard not to take naps. So I don't know if unbleached paper works better or worse than any other. This is wax paper. This was a last stencil. I mean, paper pickup of several tries. And I like how the stencil came up with it. This I need to do more on. But I made some I got out some buttons. I tried doing the buttons like Janet did yesterday morning, and mine didn't turn out very good. So, and here's one. I like the texture of this one. I do that too, Gail. And sleepy time. I've been drinking the sleepy time throat tamer, and I'm swearing by that for a sore throat. Oh, it was a stamp. Okay, I thought she had made it just out of cardboard or something. So this is my practice yesterday. And I've been watching different people jelly printing. And that, I'm seeing different ways to do it. And I know we were using, oh, okay, it was a homemade stamp. I've not done that yet. I was trying different mediums and stuff, but I kind of liked using Emerson's over painting. And then some of those were where I cleaned off my brayer. And then this is my art journal as such, but I cleaned off my brayer in here a lot too, so that it would cover the lines. I still don't know what I'm going to do with this. But eventually I'll figure something out. It works for now. But one thing before I start, I wanted to show you all. I don't know. Oh, I knew it wasn't a real one, but I thought maybe she had just like cut around some cardboard and punched holes in it. I didn't know it was like, oh, I got a hummingbird. I've got to feed those. He's going to each little feeder trying to find food, finding out it's empty. So anyway, thank you, Melody. Hi, Barbara. How are you? I could use some chicken pot pie. If you would like to fly some over with a goose or a duck or whatever as they fly south, I'd appreciate that, Barbara. I'm so glad you're here. I went to Toe Socks Treasury's sale, and I haven't found anything but from Shannon, and I don't know her channel name. And I got this pretty little ribbon that I thought would be cute on one of the dresses for Project Dress a Girl. But she was selling these books for $1. And they're just children's books. A Fly Went By, Curious George Takes a Job, Alex First Flight, Apple Trouble, The Littlest Owl, Little Puppy Lost. And I'm not using them for a journal. I'm using them for Emerson to read to her. But also, I know a lot of you have grandchildren that live farther from you. And I have 3 nieces, that homeschool. And my sister, their mother, she homeschooled all of them. And through a free program called Marco Polo, she is reading to them. And she's reading the old classics like the Bobbsey Twins, Charlotte's Web, um, Swiss Family Robinson, those kind of books. And the ones we think of as chapter books. And I said, well, I'll read to them. So while I was out there visiting them, the girls, we talked and they said, oh, they'd love somebody else reading to them. And my sister does not like to read aloud. She does it. She does it well, as everything she does. But she is not a fan of reading aloud to her children. And so if you get on Marco Polo, you can create a group. It's very simple. And you can read stories and whenever you want to. And they can listen to the story whenever they want to. So it's not like a Zoom or a FaceTime or anything like that. It's just an interaction, but it's on the time that works for you. And my sister tends to get up really early, sometimes if she can't sleep, and then she'll go back to bed. So she said, in the middle of the night, I can get up and I can read to them and show them the pictures and all that. And then they can watch it whenever they want to. So she's doing chapter books mostly. I think I'm going to do those kind of books. And it might be Barbara. It might be Shannon of Art Junkie. So for those of you whose grandchildren live far away, I thought this would be a fun way to interact with your grandchildren, and then they can listen to you read to them. And it's also a help to their mamas. So just putting that out there. It's called Marco Polo. And you don't have to use YouTube, live stream, or anything else. You just do it all on that one app, and it's free. So there you go. Okay. I say, let's play. And thank you so much for that name, Barbara, because I have been trying to come up with it. Oh, a question for all of you. I put my paint on it so I wouldn't forget. I found this piece of tile. And I thought Emerson would like to do a picture on it. But I don't know what medium. Gail, I know. But they do have to sit in a car sometimes. So maybe that would be, or at a restaurant or someplace like that. So maybe that would work. I asked Emerson yesterday. She wasn't feeling real good. And I said, do you want Nana to read to you? And she said, no. But, well, dang. Because she was wanting these books to take home. And I said, no, those are for at Nana's house. But I think I may even do some of the books I have that she reads, because all of them have 2-3-year-olds. So I thought Pete the Cat and Biscuit and some of those books, maybe that would give the little ones somebody to read to them while they were trying to do school. But anyway, this is just a tile, and I will Artex paint work. I've seen Sharpies. I've not researched this at all. I'm just being lazy to see if somebody can tell me. But I thought this would make a cute little flower. Hi, Sylvia. How are you? This is your afternoon delight. I beat you to it, Barbara. Are you doing well? So if any of you know what medium paint, Sharpies, what kind of markers, whatever, let me know. But I thought that'd be a fun project for Emerson. When she's here, Jackson starts football, so she'll probably be here when he goes to football. So I'm going to move my coffee over to it right now. I think that's all I was going. Oh, no, it wasn't. I have 101 subscribers. I had 102 last night. So I've got to come up with something cool to give away. And I'm thinking I have some of these fat quarters, and I've got sewing machines, paint brushes, envelopes that look like Happy Mail. Gail, that's what I figured too. Thanks, Melody. Of course, while I'm talking, I may lose one of you, so you never know. Oh, alcohol inks work well. Well, I've got a few here. And then I've got this one that's a mixture. So I was thinking of doing some Happy Mails for my 100 subscribers, but I'm not sure how to do it because I use my phone as my camera right now. So I can't do a number generator. And I don't mind doing 2 or 3 Happy Mails, but I've not been to anybody who celebrated their 100. I was happy when I reached 50. No, Gail, I don't have an Alexa. Because, hi, Linda, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Good morning. So think on it what y'all would like, because you're the ones that are going to win it. And I've seen that, and then Gail, that's an excellent idea. And I thought maybe something like that would be better. I do the Happy Mail for the first 1 or 2 people that come into my chat. So commenting on my replay might be my best way. And then next week I could let people know who won and do my number generator that way. So that's that. But I am excited. 100 people want to listen to me. So we are going to play. I'm doing a little turquoise. I don't have much of this blue left yesterday. That's probably way too much paint. I let Emerson and Jackson paint, and Emerson was only going to be allowed to use acrylic paint, because we were doing it after school, and I knew she had school today, and her parents had a football meeting with Jackson, so I knew when they got home they weren't gonna want to scrub paint off. But they did wonderfully. Get that out of the way. I really liked using these yesterday. These kind of made cool little textures. I've got a string on there. Trying to use some things I didn't use yesterday. That's a good idea, Barbara. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for coming in. I hope you're feeling better. Devin, thanks for dropping by. I just started. And I could do that for my replayers and those in my live. I might just do that. Now, I got the bright idea. I don't get those very often. So drum roll, please. To maybe decorate some envelopes and cards and fabric. But I got to get my groove back. That didn't turn out. But it's just the first one. And I learned that it's the second and third ones that tend to turn out the best. So chime in with any ideas. I haven't either, but it's just this kind of stuff, muslin, an old sheet. So, I can't really hurt it. Nothing else, I'll slow stitch on it, which I won't like doing. But I can collage with it or something like that. Well, those weren't very fun. I got these little old, found them in Marlene's little file box. Well, that doesn't have enough paint. Guess I need a little more paint on it. This is the part that I'm still learning, is when to add and when to keep going. Oh, it needs to warm up. Okay. So it's not warmed up when I want it to be, huh? Imagine that. I thought it was all about me, my plate. Devin, I love watching you play on your plate. And I'm learning a lot about layers. And I know that layers are, yes, they are. And I was going to get that out this morning. I have Rolodex cards. These are from a library card catalog. But I have, thank you for reminding me. Oh, you're welcome, Devin. You're my teacher. I'm a good listener and learner because I know I won't be, I know I don't know it all. You learn that teaching because kids, now I don't know if lace is going to make a good print. Marlene, when we moved in, she had a round Rolodex, and I like making my cards stick up. and it wouldn't work in her round moving one. But then in Florida at a thrift store, I found one brand new for like $2 or something. And I bought it, and I need to swap them because I don't, I need to make the ones in Florida stick up and the ones that are here not stick up. But I don't think I'm in this quandary of too much paint or not enough paint. Thank you, Cheryl. I just grabbed some out of my lace that had texture to see what it might do. And I'm not afraid to get my hands all gross. So, yeah, this just isn't picking it up. But maybe it will. Oh, there it went. So I need to lay it down after. And then I'd like to get some of these so I can. I know, Barbara. Somebody didn't know what they were getting rid of. And I don't tend to find those awesome, awesome things. Thanks. I might come around and show y'all later. My sister let me go through her button box. She finds good finds at her thrift store. She'll find fabric on the bolt. She finds it all. Okay, I think maybe I can lift this. I get to talking to you all and forget what I'm doing. Embroidery tracing pins. That sounds, oh, I don't want to do that one. Let's do this one. That sounds fun, Cheryl. I have some tracing paper that's real old Marlene had here. And, well, the lace didn't come up. I don't know that the lace is going to work. Maybe if I do this. No. This. No. Well, let's try some of my inks. Now, I kind of had more fun with my inks yesterday, spray, than I did with, ooh, that popped it right up. I wonder if it's because it's thinner. Here's a star. I have what Emerson found that she wanted to play with. And I don't wash my stamps. I probably should in between, but I'm only going to use them for this, so. Try a puzzle piece. We know we've got those here. Let's try another color. I think this is the part I like most is the spray. And no wonder Emerson gets too much ink. Let's try a piece of fabric. Yay or nay? Yay or nay? I'm waiting the 10-second delay. Lag. Okay, we're trying it. See what we get. No, Emerson is back at school. Yesterday was her first day back. And I think it's so wise. They didn't do this when I was a kid teaching. Their first day back is always a half day. And then they go to, oh, Barbara, I'll do that. I'll do that. Thank you. Okay, this is fabric. Now, I know acrylics will make my fabric stiff and hard to sew through. It'll be interesting to see what my inks do. I don't know, but I think that's kind of pretty, personally. Something different. Something I didn't do yesterday. Jackson hasn't done jelly plates. He's a outdoor sports, that kind of kid. And Emerson doesn't even like PE because you get hot and sweaty and you know you're going to stink. Oh, do they? Cheryl, start next week. And so she's all about art. That's her thing, and dance. Girl Scouts, those kind of activities. Well, Jackson's teacher is a marathon runner, and I think she's done the New York Marathon, and I don't have an original idea, Barbara. But thank you. And so the first day of school, the teacher tells them all about herself, and kids had a game where they learn about each other, fourth grade. I did some of the same activities. Please speak up if I'm doing something too much or not enough, or something will work better if I do. So he was very fascinated about that. That was pretty cool to him that his teacher ran marathons. Paint's easier to get off of it if you don't use your finger. Fancy that. See, this was the button gale I tried to make. I don't know if I have any more in here. But we were getting the boat flooring put down. And so I just cut a sort of circle around it. So he thought that was really cool. And in the other room is a little girl who is from Ukraine. So we had to talk about Ukraine. And, it's hard when you can't let your grandkids be naive about things. But he needed to know why she was here. And he wanted to know. So let's try fabric again. So Emerson then wanted to know what a soldier was. Okay, Gail, go pick up those groceries. Bring back some snacks. Okay. See, I just find the inks pick up better. I don't seem to have a lot of luck with the paint. And I don't know why that is. Let's try yellow. We'll put yellow down and we'll try some stencils. Maybe that will work better. Oh, you go at 10 a.m. And then didn't you say then you go in and get your produce, or do you go another day for produce? Because I wouldn't want to go in and get my produce with my groceries. Let's see what else I have here. This is the kind of stuff I have. Now that makes real cool pattern. We're all about those patterns. Now I have not popped these, but I'm sure the Grands would be more than happy to if it works better. I'm going to try that on here. See if it does anything. Yeah, it does better on my clean off paper. There's smaller ones. I'm looking for a stencil. And then let's try a little bit of ink. You let them pick it out. Okay. Well, lately I've had trouble finding really good produce. I've been really happy. We've had, I'm going to try a little of this. The garden, and everybody's garden is the same. It's just, is that the right thing to do? Flourishing. Oh, look, that's a phone number she had. And here's her handwriting. I'll just do one side of those. This one she typed. We've got our old typewriter. It's electric. That didn't turn out too bad. That'll make a good background on a Rolodex play. That's pretty cool. Let's get another color in there. And then we'll get a piece of paper. Well, that's not real pretty, but boy, that's got texture, doesn't it? Lift it. Devin, I think I saw you do this, didn't I? Where you cleaned off your stencils. And I don't have good stencils. I just don't. Hi, Tanya. How are you? I'm kind of playing the second time in my life with the jelly plate. Emerson usually controls it, and I let her. But she's not going to get any better at it if I just let her continue putting on too much paint. But that paint sure makes good background paint. Florida doing okay with all the rain? I'm glad you have it washed up. You may need an ark. Yes, Cheryl, she did. Wasn't that cool, Di? And I was going to watch again last night and fell asleep. One of the many times I fell asleep. I love this stencil. Really like this stencil. Didn't stencil the best, but it may here on my pages. If I'm doing something cringing, y'all, you let me know. I was watching G. Kerr, who is amazing, by the way. And somebody on, I like to read the replay chats. And because it kind of is a spoiler, you know, when they say, oh, I love such and such, and you haven't seen it yet. I'm going to try this. But somebody said that she had to watch on mute because of the noise. It was the spray bottle that she couldn't stand of when G was using her alcohol inks. She was spraying with alcohol, and that was bothering the lady. And I thought, oh my. She had very sensitive ears. Oh, Devin, it's so easy. Only if I've already watched the live. I can't if I haven't watched the live because I want to see what she's doing. Oh, now see, that one I like. But I don't remember how I achieved it. Part of the problem. That's cool. I think anyway, for a beginner. Now, remember, I haven't done this much. But I like that with her handwriting behind it. Yes. She was using alcohol that you put on a like sore or something. And she said, I figure if it's good for the skin, she got it at the pharmacy. But she said, I figured if it was good for the skin, it would be okay. I can't listen to audiobooks because I don't know what happened. And I like murder mysteries. So I'm looking for another good author. I love to read authors. And I love J.D. Robb. But I'm all caught up with hers. So I'm needing something else. Let's try this one. Have you guys seen the movie where the crawdads sing? Oh, that was so close to the... That's true, Devin. I'm having fun. It's so close to the book. Oh, so close to the book, I felt. So it's about the trial of a girl who lives in the marsh who is on trial for the murder of a well-liked local kid. And the marsh girl is on trial for his murder. And she's an outcast. Oh, oh, oh. I think I'm not getting busy enough backgrounds, maybe. Could that be the problem? Or is it just the longer you go, the better it works? Oh, I'm not going to spoil. But there's a love story to it. And a group of teachers, teachers, former teachers, and that had all read the book. We went out for dinner first, right beside the theater. And so good. So good. But I would suggest reading the book first, only because it makes the movie better. Okay, white wasn't what to use on white, obviously. That has just a little tint. I wonder if later, if I embossed. I don't know. I don't want to emboss on my plate, I'm sure. And Melody, you got to set those priorities. I listen to audiobooks when I'm walking and sewing because I can't watch YouTube very well. I just can listen to YouTube when I'm crafting. And so, I don't know now what to do. Let's see what happens. That white didn't pick up very well. And I do too. Egg. That didn't throw me, but it's grungy. Let's go grunge. Linda, I'll send it for your book. You won't want it either. Oh, really? We don't go to movies. That's probably I don't know, but I've probably been less than 10 times in my life. Sister Cheryl, that's what I do. I'd be falling asleep. Let's get another grungy paper. It is grungy, isn't it, Linda? That's grungy too. And I don't mind the grunge. I love the grunge. Oh, with a thin paper. Gotcha. I have thin paper. Instead of this old printer paper. Well, I've got enough printer paper now for a lifetime of painty papers. So look for that in the Happy Mail pile. I don't think I've used blue. I'm not a primary color person with my crafting. I like them. I believe life is about using the whole box of crayons. But am I boring you to death? Let me know. I can do something else. Oh, and the popcorn melody. That gal would be a problem. You have a wonderful day too, Devin. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to try little bubble wrap. I hide that from the grands. Or they'd have it popped away. Let's try this. Thanks, Linda. Tanya, I'm not bored either. But I don't understand, and I know they do, how people can retire and not have hobbies. I don't know what they do. You know, I have friends who are gardeners and they read and, those kind of things. And I know a lot that just go back to work because they don't know what else to do. You're a people McNugget. I like the one that says, I'm not short. My feet touch the floor. Okay, let's try this thin paper. That's right. I remember some on PM Studios, they said you want flappy paper. I remember that now. I watched them yesterday. They were funny. I like people who don't take art seriously. And I know there's some people with that personality, but it's not me. See you later, Gail. What's he do, Melody? Hi, Beck. How are you? I'm playing. Look at this jelly print. I'm playing, but I'm new to it. So all suggestions and help are highly welcomed. So what's he do? My husband, Vic, has hobbies, but they're all outside. And so I know he gets bored when we're in Florida, especially after my heart episode, because let me get a paper towel. Oh, here's this one. Because he couldn't leave me. He was about to go stir crazy. And he had broke his ankle, so he couldn't, get out a whole lot. He is a social butterfly and loves getting out and seeing people and visiting with them. And on Sundays, he has his little route he likes to take in Florida where he goes and checks on and if the people and stuff like that. And I've gone with him if I didn't get to church, but I don't want to do that every Sunday, especially when I was working. I didn't. I got peopled out. But now up here, he is never bored. My son sees to that. Hi, Lizzie. Lizzie, I found fabric that made me think of you and Emerson, of unicorns and rainbows and color. I'm going to make it for her, a pillowcase for her, to go with the quilt my sister made her. And if I have any left, you may find it in your mailbox. And Beck, I got my Project Dress a Girls cut out. And I may be hollering at you for some help. My granddaughter, those aren't too bad. They're picking up. This down here's the lace. I know, Lizzie, you get along so well. Was he a teacher before he retired? No, I ordered some though, Beck. Thank you. I just ordered 50. I thought that'd get me through a few years. But thanks. I'm really excited about doing it. Um, Emerson came in after school and I don't know how many I cut out, maybe 10, 12, something around there. And she said, Nana, are you making me a dress? Oh, I'm so sorry, Beck. Um, and I said, no. And I said, I'm making these for little girls who have never had a new dress. And you know, our grandchildren don't know how fortunate they are. And Emerson's never needed a thing in her life. And so I told her there were little girls that had never had a new dress, and I was making it for them. And she said, do you know them? And I said, no. And she goes, so why are you making them a dress? And so I tried to explain to her that this was an organization. She understood organization. She's got a good vocabulary. And that these were going to be taken to other countries or maybe in the United States. Yes, I'm just doing simple pillowcase dresses, Beck. And so I tried to, I was explaining all that to her. And she said, so there's kids that have never had a new dress. Hi, Vanessa. How you feeling? And, but anything else, feel free to tell me because I'm not going to start sewing until Marnie's video. And she was so sweet. And she said, why don't they have new dresses? And I said, oh, that's a better fabric one. And so, and this isn't as stiff, so I can embroider through all this. That's fun. So I was trying to explain all this to her. She goes, oh, just real serious. And she pops out, will you make me a dress? It's like, okay, honey, you totally missed the point. But I guess at 6, there's only so much they, are going to understand. But so much for Nana trying to wisen the child. Oh, good. I'm glad you're on the mend. My allergies are flaring up on me. Ooh, that's not too bad for a tag. I was telling the others I want to do something to celebrate 100 people wanting to listen to me. And so I thought I would send out some happy mail. And because oh, Becky, that's a good way to explain it. To warm your heart and bless my soul, because that's what it really is. And Becky, they're gonna like yours better. Mine are simple but very decorated. I like doing all the pockets and trims and that kind of stuff, but they're not going to be fancy dresses. And see what happens. Well, the purple, see, I left the stencil on. So that's the way to do that. Okay, we're learning. Let's do this beehive one. Coming down. My allergies are really acting up. Thank you, Cheryl. I will tell my husband I had a good idea today. Whenever I go and say, I've been thinking, I'll go, oh no, let me sit down. That's cool. For some reason, I really like white with the jelly painting. And I don't know why, because it doesn't show up very well. And Aunt Beck on the sewing thing, I got my blankets and burnt cloths done. Those are easy. But my sister gave me a pattern for making the hanging towels. So I want to try doing those. I am, Lizzie. I'm having a lot of fun. I love that saying, warm my heart and bless my soul. I think I need that hanging on my wall. And Lizzie, you'll be happy to know I'm using my whole house. And oh, I'm going to use that dark paper. Didn't I have a dark print? Nope. Need to come over here. Oh, let's try this. See, that looks better if I've got a background print. Duh. Because white shows up better on colors. So we'll use this pink that didn't show up too well. It is relaxing. This jelly painting is really relaxing. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that. I really like the tags and these. I'm kind of hooked on using them. Beck and Lizzie, if you've got some, I think they are turning out real pretty. See, that you can kind of see. And I'm wondering if I then put a stamp with my embossing powder, if it'll pick up. Anybody try that? Well, Lizzie, what it is, I'm going to do a tour sometime because I know a lot of people do not have a crafting room. And here on the farm, the house is smaller. And it's got bedrooms upstairs, but it's the very steep steps. And Greg didn't want me going up and down those. And I think for those people who don't have a crafting room, maybe it will give them ideas. Greg does not even come in here very often. His mom had a TV in the dining room with her chair, and that's where she was most of the time during the day. And so I find he sits in there a lot. Even, I mean, at night, I don't usually craft so that he feels comfortable coming in. But, because, he wants to watch TV. But the TV in here we don't get good reception. So we, I don't watch it. Lizzie, the Rolodex cards are so fun. Your townhouse is your art studio. I hear you, Cheryl. Barbara and Cheryl, I'd love to see your craft rooms. I'm just nosy that way. Lizzie can tell you, I'm always asking her, what room are you in? Are you in A, B? Are you in the back of the house? Are you in the dining room? Inquiring minds. Well, that didn't do a heck of a lot. That's not the paper. That's operator error. Let's do some rainbows. This house did not have a basement. And then a basement was poured under the house. And I'm trying to remember the history. So it's more of a cellar basement. It's where that's not too bad. We keep the canning goods, the water heater, the air conditioner, all that kind of stuff is down there. Freezer, we have an old freezer down there. And it's a damp basement. So Greg told me when we were up here, because I said he wanted the den for an office, and that was fine. And it's more like a sunroom type thing, only all enclosed. So he uses that. And he said I could have the living room, back of the living room for my crafts. Well, 2 pickup trucks later, splitting all my goods. There you go. I took it over, and I really like it because I took the half that had the cabinets where she kept all the arrowheads, and that wasn't a good idea, but I tried it. It's what I'm telling myself. I tried it. Now, we use our whole dining room table, and I wouldn't use it anyway. My son built that especially for this home, and he made benches for it and stuff as a labor of love. So I don't want to get anything on that table. Now, it didn't bother Emerson to, but I will take my slow stitching in there. Lizzie, have you watched Cat Hand? She has a Rolodex card thing that is really cool. But now she's more finesse than I am on mine. I think she's one that probably measures. Oh, I wanted to do envelopes and cards. Yeah, Lizzie, you wouldn't either. But Emerson's going to inherit it because she's the one that spilt. That's kind of cool for an envelope. Some blue fingernail polish on it. Bless her heart. And she's gotten a little marker on it that went through. So she inherits that, which Jackson wouldn't want it anyway because he does woodworking too. Oh, bye, Linda. Thank you so much for coming in. I do appreciate it. And when I do my 100 giveaway, if your name is drawn, I'll send you some grunge. I'm real pleased that in less than 2 months, this many people want to listen to me. I'm real pleased with that. My sister can't believe it. I like working in it too. And I like you working in it, to watch you working in it, Lizzie. I know your health and stuff doesn't let you with, you get tired with the live streams. And I get that, but I do enjoy watching you craft. I enjoyed your video last night of your Happy Mail. You get the cool Happy Mail. You get some cool ones. And that picture Cordula made you, oh my goodness. I could take lessons from her. Drawing just isn't my passion. This kind of stuff I like. Cheryl, you subscribe to Lizzie, I'm sure. Okay, we're going to try doing this, and stop me if I'm going to run stuff, but I don't think I will. And I'm going to try paint. Cheryl, would you bring me a cup, please? I'd appreciate it. Thank you. That was fun at my sister's. Her discipline of her children is amazing. And she does not let her teenage boys just do all the video games they want. They get so much time. It's just not working. Oh, maybe I need to turn it this way. They want on video games. They have so much time a day, which I think is an hour, and then they have to work for more time. So then every hour of work earns them an hour of video time. Well, when Aunt Kathy was there, I could give them playtime too. So thank you, Cheryl. So Justice, who is the one that went and milked, we were teasing him. He was a movie star, but I told him, I said, now you get an extra hour of Aunt Kathy time on the PlayStation for doing this for me. He was good with that. But he would even come up to his mother and say, Mom, what's some work I can do for more video time? Now, he's got 2 brothers that one's in the military. And he does not have to earn extra time if he's playing with them. But Mom gets to come in and he has to make it so she can hear them too. So that her away boys' voices she can hear. I need a stencil there. And I think he's pretty good about that. Oh, let's do it this way. But they're great boys, and they'd run, back to my point, He'd run and get coffee, or he'd make the coffee. He made a salad. All of her kids know how to cook. Um, and every time he did me a job, I said, that gets you another hour. Well, the whole time I was there, he's getting to play as much as he wanted. He might have to change room because he shares the video game room with his mom's sewing room. And so when we wanted to be in there, he got to play in the living room. But he had his headphones on. But he wouldn't have wanted to be in there with us. So, I mean, that boy got earned. And I said, and the time you're on your video games is not when I'm here. You get that later. His mom just laughed. Like, yeah, Don't know if he used it or not. Don't care. Oh, that's fun. Won't that make a fun card? Ooh, I might have just got on a business here. Hallmark, here I come. I know you are going to be standing in line for my cards. Look at that. Isn't that fun? Okay, everybody, to 200 followers. Click. Okay, let's pick these little darlings up and see what they look like. My husband is leaving. Oh, wonder what they're going. He's going to the other farm. He just loves it up here. But he loves it down there because we can both. Ooh. Okay, I might be on to something there. Okay, Vanessa. We'll be here. I don't have a little girl saying she's hungry. My daughter-in-law and son yesterday both got selected for jury selection. They were there all day. Now, you have to remember this is a very, very small town. And this was a change of venue. So they know everybody in the room. Some related to them. Well, they pinpointed the two of them with the same last name, male and female, to see if they would have a problem if both would be selected. And they said no. And but after an entire day, Nikki got selected and Jack and Andy did not. But, and I'm sure the pickings are slim, but they kept making them stand up and asking them questions. Are you sure this won't cause a problem at Thanksgiving if you're both, or Christmas if you're both selected and stuff? They did take mother-in-law and daughter-in-law and for the selection. Nikki got selected. Andy did not, which I was sure because juvenile officer was selected. And it's going to be a gruesome, hard trial. I feel so bad for her. It's man who I think killed his wife and beat his toddler to death. So it's not going. And they said there's going to be pictures and things like that. And she's really dreading it. Thank you, Cheryl. I just love y'all. But she had a daycare, so, you know, we thought that might throw her out. But the juvenile officer said something interesting. She said they'd already been around town asking about they knew who was going to be selected, because they got the list before those being selected. Yeah, this is called Too Much Paint. But the rose kind of shows. Let's get another card. See what happens. Oh, these aren't floppy enough, I bet. Huh. Well, let's do it this way. See, Tanya, I was listening. Not very well, but I was listening. One thing about doing a live, I can say, I'll do that later. I'll do that later when it comes to the cleanup. Because I can't work at a real messy spot. I have to kind of clean up before I start again. It is a thankless position. Now, because Nikki works for the state, she just went to work, put her time in, and no problem. But not all jobs are like that. Well, that's going to go that way. But it's such an important one. And I've always wanted, maybe this will work better. I've always wanted to be on a jury. I mean, that's a bucket list for me. Well, look what I found. I didn't. And I told her I'd go in her place, and she smirked. Okay. Well, we might as well use them all, hadn't we? Time for the Price is Right. Well, don't be late. Thanks for coming, Cheryl. I appreciate you so much. Okay. Let's put a little yellow. Have any of you had to serve on a jury? This is too much paint. I know it. I wanted to see these two colors together. Isn't that pretty? I don't know that I've ever sewn yellow and teal together, but I have better luck with fabric color matching than I do paper. Several times, Aunt Beck. Oh. We always see, I've been on the jury, but selection 2 or 3 times, but I never was picked. because they find out I'm a teacher. And the last one, I've been on a federal where they can call you anytime for a federal one. Okay, Barbara. Yeah. Well, mine, that we were never called for a federal case. And every teacher in the room was selected for that one. And then that could anyway. There were some there that couldn't. And then I was there and it was a child abuse case. And this was all in Florida. I was never selected here. But anybody that worked with children were not selected. No, that'll make a background one. We can do that. Take some of the ink off. Hi, Pam. How are you? Get those babies off to school, I hope. All fine. That's going to need some collage or something. But I love crime shows. I love NCIS. I like the CSIs. Law and Order's okay, but I'm kind of tired of it. But I like those kind of shows, and I would be selected quite happily. They probably realize that, and that's why I have not been, but and then I was selected for jury selection. I wasn't selected, and they settled out of court. So we sat most of the morning waiting. And then they came and told us, which that's okay. We knew nothing about the court. But this one is such a gruesome one. And they warned the jury that got selected it was not going to be pleasant. I don't either. It's gruesome, actually, isn't it, Lizzie? I like those kind of books. Well, am I not rolling enough? I wonder. Let's see what happens if I roll more on this paper. Oh, maybe we can do a roll 2 for 1. And took your sister to work. Boy, you deserve some playtime, girlfriend. Now, I want to get this off because I have the edges. Maybe I'll watch TV today since I don't watch TV when Emerson's here. Number one, I don't want her to see those kind of shows I like. That's kind of neat. See if I can get some more of those. And if I turn the TV on, usually it's because I'm going to go take a nap and it's something for her to watch while she plays. Let's take these off and see. Oh, nothing happened. Married to a cop. That would probably kick you out, Melody. I can't imagine why a criminal wouldn't want you on their jury. If you guys get tired of me playing, I can do other things. So they make you sit there all day, Melody, before they told you? Because that's what they made these kids do. It was, they had to be there at 8, and it was 4:30 before they let the others go home. Of course, Andy had to stay because he and Nikki were. No, I think he left. He helps coach Jackson's um, Tiger Cub football team. And they had a meeting, so he may have gone to that. But now, Barbara, is it this selection and all that the same way in Canada as in the US, where they send you and you have to show, and then both sides decide who they want? Do you do that same way in Canada? I just have so many painty papers. You may never see me jelly print again. That's pretty. We're going to do that again, only with a different color. Now, how did I do it? I did the paint. Now, because for some reason we have back two change of venues here, because there's not crime in Memphis, Missouri. I think there may have been, I mean, not counting the Wild West. They got a new pool for today and have another big case. And school started Monday, and bless his heart, first, but usually that is the case. A first year, 5th grade teacher, and the principal tried to get him off only because he was a first year teacher and it was his first day of school with his students. He got selected. So here he is, a first year student, first week of 5th grade, and he can't be there. But they pulled one of a former 5th grade teacher who now works with kids who intervention with reading and stuff. They pulled her to do the duty because, first day, you want somebody in there. Oh, really, Beck? They didn't tell us that. That makes sense, though, because so many of those are nationally televised. Beck, can you tell us where you worked that you couldn't? I think I might find that interesting. You know, I don't get the newspaper on everything. I see, Barbara. Okay. Well, I was kind of surprised the defense for this case would want people who worked with children or might have a soft spot for kids, like a teacher or. And another first year teacher got selected for today, jury selection. So, and she teaches second grade. But they'll get somebody to fill in for her, I'm sure. That was a bust, Kathy. I'm wanting another really cool page of this. But I would imagine we had a federal judge. He had to move to St. Louis from our area that was selected. He was a Democrat. Oh, wonderful judge. Wonderful judge. And I don't know if they would have let me ever do one under him or not, but it would have been cool. Bye, Barbara. Thanks for stopping in. A degree in public service and criminal justice. Oh, Beck, I could sit and ask you questions forever. So, did you work in an office or were you out in the field? Inquiring minds. See what happens if I pull some of this on that white. Well, that doesn't look too bad. But I think maybe because that's so busy, maybe that's the thing about jelly print. You want the printy, the busy tiles. I wonder if that makes a difference. What are you working on, Pam and Beck? Are you sewing? What are you working on, Lizzie? I know y'all aren't sitting still. Really, Pam? That is a thankless job, too. I know more about it up here than I do. That's kind of cool. Than I do in Florida. But it is a thankless job. When I was a reading coach, I had an office with a window that faced a home, and would see this baby. I mean, I call a baby 3 years old and under. Project Dress the Girl. And I would see her in the road. And so I happened to see one of the people that was the person who would pull kids from the home. Oh, a hard job. And I was telling her, and she said, we know, but people call us after the fact. Oh, Pam, you've been quite industrious today. I did start the dishwasher and a load of clothes before I started. And she said, they call us after they, ooh, I love that one, that pink and yellow. Now, I like that. So she said, if you would let us know during the fact, it wasn't a busy road at all. But, you know, by a school, it's busy enough. And of course, I never caught him again, which I was glad because the baby wasn't in the road. But I told her certainly, because she said, we're always out and about and we're usually there in that town. And it was a different town from where I taught. And she said, we know it's neglect was what it was. The dad was wonderful, but it would happen when mom had the kids. And dad was trying to get things changed. But it's a heartbreaking situation and a thankless one at that. I agree. Good for you, Aunt Beck. Now, is your breakfast more of a brunch? Cheese biscuits. That sounds good. I made pumpkin muffins yesterday. I do not get up early and get going. Between my heart and my fibromyalgia, I'm a slow starter. Hi, Jinrin. Has the hubby and son gotten their COVID test done yet? I really hope they test negative. I see. I would like to get up and going by 6:30 or 7. But because then I could go ahead and get my walk in. And I set my alarm for 6:30. Do I get up? Negative. Okay, Jen, keep me posted, please. I'm praying. Are you feeling better? When do you have to get retested? I have not had COVID, thankfully. But my husband did. But we both have really bad sore throats. And somebody said that's how this different one starts. But we also have runny noses and coughing, no headaches. Oh, you worked at Michael. Oh, Jeffrey has COVID. Oh, I bet, Lizzie, you be careful. Janet does make it hard to be a morning person. I used to be when we farmed. Oh, Gail, you got your groceries put away. Don't you wish that the people that found the groceries, yeah, Pam, I think it is seasonal, would also come to your house and put them away for you? That's what I always thought. They could help carry them in. Justice would do that. My sister has him well trained. Thaddeus had a full-time job in the summer, but otherwise he would. They both started college classes, so she's got to do her own now. And once they started driving, she had them get the groceries. Her kids were definitely ready for adulthood. Oh, I'm with you there, Gail. And sometimes it's good just to get out and see a different view. At least that's what my husband tells me all the time. Okay, now that's some print. I think that's my favorite one so far. Now let's try this again. Thank you, Jen. I had these to sell. I had a little side hustle called Nana's Stash, and I sold aprons for kids and adults and baby items, and bowl koozies. I did 2 shows. Knitted dishcloths. Nothing fancy. I don't do any of it fancy. All my sewing and stuff I learned through YouTube and Pinterest. That's how I learned all of it. So, and the only reason I got quit using my sewing machine as a mending tool only was after we were in Florida. My daughter-in-law saw the sewing machine I had left up here. My husband had gotten that for me our first Christmas in '83, and she saw the sewing machine and was pregnant and assumed if I had a sewing machine, I must be a seamstress. And I wasn't going to tell my new daughter-in-law anything different. So the next time we were up here, we brought down the sewing machine. And now I would tell her, because she was wanting me to make some things that were way above my pay grade. And like reupholster chairs or make cushions to replace a chair type stuff. And I had no idea how to do that. I could probably figure it out now, but I couldn't 10 years ago. And so she would find things on Pinterest. I made first thing I made was a quilt, rag quilt. And she now has told me several times that got brought up to my mother-in-law to mend. My mother-in-law was a seamstress. I mean, she could do a lot of sewing and quilting and stuff. And I made a football-shaped minky blanket to take to football games. Let's see what that looks like on there. Ooh, that's kind of cool. We did that too, Gail. Oh, yes, that scares me too if they were to get it, Gail. I'm so thankful that Jennifer's a nurse. Because she'll take care of you. You got some wonderful children there. I can't imagine doing the shopping with 6 kids, Pam. I don't enjoy it with just Emerson. Can we get that? Can we get that? Look, Nana, that looks good. And then you get it home and they don't touch it. I remember being the same way because we'd look at cereals and we'd want it. And then not eat it. I can remember Mom being upset about that. But usually when I go to the grocery store, if I have Emerson, I'm with her mom. And it's hard for me pushing that cart. That's a real chore for me. Gray does a lot of our grocery shopping. Or we do it together. I don't mind grocery shopping. It's the cart. I bet you do, Jen. Now, Pam, is your husband home? I know he's military. Or is he gone? I didn't know if he could help with any of that. Oh, Gail, I bet. I bet. 10, 7, and 5, that'd be bad. Take the 7 out, and that'd be my grandkids. Jan, I don't know how you, Pam, I don't know how you get it all done. The sewing, the crafting. I remember calling my sister and one of her, it was her 12-year-old daughter. And I always knew who answered the phone, who was in charge, because that was the rule of the landline. And before cell phones too, I guess. And I said, how are you, BT? And she said, oh, fine. And I said, are you in charge of the kids today? And she said, yeah, Mom. Took the others. I think they had a ball game or something. Of course, she didn't want all the little kids the game. And I said, well, how many you got? And she said, oh, I've only got 8. Oh, bless his heart, Pam. Well, I'm glad he's home, but I hate that he's sick. I know, Gail. That's what I said. Only? Oh, to her, that was nothing. I can't imagine having only 8 kids. And they'd have been little. Well, they'd all been under 12. So you can imagine 8 under 12. Oh, good. It's not COVID. Now, my sister did have flu run through the house. And she only had 11 or 12 home at the same time. Because her oldest daughters her oldest are a set of twins, and they're a month older than Justice, who's just turned 16. But the flu ran through the house, and the only ones that didn't have it were the 16-year-old and Dad and Mom. Well, Dad was going to work, and so he and the well ones would sleep in the motorhome. Nancy did day duty. Well, here's a stencil I've never used. I think I'm going to keep that though for Nancy did night duty. And Becca, who was 16 at the time, did day duty and taught school. And so Nancy then would sleep during the day, and Becca was in charge at night. Becca was in charge during the day and slept at night. And when her dad slept in the motorhome, so he could make sure if she got sick, he was there, because they didn't want to leave her out in the motorhome alone. And then she taught school and had a sick baby on her hip. Bye, Jen. I'll see you around the tube. And taught school. And I asked her when I called and she was telling me this. I said, Becca, how are you teaching school with the baby on your hip? And she'd have had 10 and taken care of the sick kids. And she said, it's easier. And I said, oh, how is that easier? And she said, because they're busy. And she said, busy kids don't fight. Okay. She still homeschools her kids, and I'm sure that philosophy has helped her. And she is right. Busy kids don't fight. And I'm sure her mom didn't care what she was doing, as long as when she went back in after she had slept a while, they were still alive. But bless her mother-in-law, she was working at the office with my brother-in-law, her son, and she would pick up their laundry and all the sick clothes and wash them. And then she'd bring them back and sit them on the porch and ring the doorbell. And then Rebecca or whoever was feeling well enough she would make some meals, bring those. Of course, she was working all day, so she couldn't do too much. You homeschooled your two oldest for 3 years. I taught other people's children. I would not have been good at homeschooling. I know that. When we were up here, when the school shut down during COVID, that was really brought home when I was in charge of teaching Jackson. And I don't know, maybe it would have been different if I had, knowing I was the only education the child was going to get, but she was real structured and I wasn't. trying to get all this paint off, so I wasn't too bad with the homework, Gail, but I also knew I didn't want a house full of kids after teaching them all day. I knew, and what was real hard was when I had Andy for math. And I had him for social studies in 3rd grade and math in 4th grade. And that was hard. And he still says that was his 2 worst years of his life, was having mom for a teacher, because I was so hard on him. I was way too hard on him. Hi, Teresa. How are things going for you today? Get Ricky fed. Gail, that would have been hard. That would have been hard. I'm glad things are going well today for you. Well, chickadees, I'm about out of paper. And I got stuff to pick up. Here, we'll do Rolodex cards. Not enough paint. Huh. Now what do I do? Do they pay him? Andy needed somebody else besides mom and dad, being an only. He's too social to have. Now, Jackson would love it if Nana taught him and he didn't have to go to school. But he is ADHD. And he would miss his friends. I reminded him that last night. And he said, well, I could still see my friends. And I said, well, yeah, but you wouldn't see all of them. And I tried to convince him. But then once he met his teacher, that kind of helped. I think he was apprehensive about that and all. It's not quite as easy for him as it is Emerson. And that's not fun either. Well, that made pretty lace. Yeah, I don't know that it's going to do much on a jelly print, but it's going to make pretty lace. Yeah, it makes a good background. See, this is what Emerson and I were getting. Hi, Jeannie Homeschool. Yard work. Yeah, my hubby's been doing that. I have not helped with that. For one thing, it takes him longer, and it gave him more to do over the weekend when Andy and Nikki and the kids were all gone. I wanted to get the rest of it to have something on it, but that's not what happened, so. Ah, you got happy mail. Cheryl left and I need more coffee. Oh, well. I'm just painting. But I think I'm going to quit painting and work on either some of these cards or my Rolodex cards. And I did say I need to get all that paint off. Well, there's Great Back. I love having this window where I can see out and see them coming and going. I miss a lot, but so you homeschool all four of your children, Jeannie? Is it Jean or Jeannie? Is it 2 syllables or 1 syllable? We were talking about homeschooling is why I'm asking. 4 would have been a job. That's for sure. So lots of different levels. Jeannie. Okay. 2 syllables. Good to know. That's what I thought. I'm going to pull these out to use with my inks. Graduated out in 15. My sister started 30 some years ago, and she's done now because the 2 boys are in college, but they're still home. Her kids are so intelligent. Two sons in the Army. Good for you. I said something about a soldier last night. Emerson wanted to know what a soldier was. And I said, they fight for our freedom. Do you know what freedom is? And she goes, no. She goes, yes, I do. And she goes, when people are in jail and they get out, they like having their freedom. Said, yep, that's freedom. I have 2 nephews in the military. One is going to make it his lifetime job. And he's based in Seattle. And the other is really his dream was to be a Navy SEAL. But bless his heart, he's tall, he's lanky, and he also is not a big swimmer. And of course, a Navy SEAL has to be able to do that. And I'm going to save that one out too. He scored almost a perfect score on the military test. I think he had a 97, something like that. 94, 97, something. And they told him he'd never see action. And his brother never has seen action. He scored 1 point below. And he's been in there several years now and never seen action. and not why they wanted to join, but that's how it is. Really, Gail, 6 years. Thank you. I know it's as hard being a family member as it is almost being the one in the military. I know you guys do so much behind the scenes that nobody thinks about. I worked with a girl whose husband had to go to something with National Guard, and but you know, I think nowadays you all are a little more appreciated than maybe in the past. You would know more about that than I, but oh, having his first baby. Hi, Beth. Welcome in. Oh, Gail, Vietnam. Yes, bless you all for your service. And thank you so much. Hardest thing I think my sister did was let those babies go. I'm just tidying up so I can work. I figure if y'all are tired of me, you'll leave. I didn't use those. Now, is there a special way I should clean my brayer? Yeah, put that over there. I don't know. It is in the Lord's hand, and he's got their eye on them where you can't have. That was the only, I think, thing that kept my sister going, was knowing that God had it all under control. And now being able to hear from them, which, Gail, that had to have been, oh, you just use your baby wipes. Okay. I have baby wipes right here. Gail, that must have been difficult when you couldn't talk to them. Do you use that on your plate too, or just your brayer? Okay. Thanks, Gail. I think I'm going to leave it out because the kids saw it last night and really wanted to play after they painted the birdhouses and stuff. And I just did not feel up to messing with it. And I think because I don't leave this handy, maybe I should. Yeah, that needs a good cleaning. I don't know if there's even mineral oil here. But I'm going to get the worst of this off. I know this needs cleaned, but maybe after the kids do it. Oh, I'm sure. Bye, Becky. Thank you so much for visiting. And I do want to pick your brain. This is about the only time y'all are going to see me paint. Just saying. These are kind of pretty, aren't they? After the kids get a hold of them, I'll keep those for something else. Glycerin would work, or okay, that'd work too. I don't feel like I do it very well, but I really try. I always want you ladies to know, men, if they watch later, you're more important than my craft. That is a priority to me. I don't want you to ever think I forget you're there, because there's billions of YouTube channels and other things you could be doing besides watching me craft. And I want you to always know I value your time. It's kind of like when I go out to eat with somebody and they keep answering their phone. That bothers me, because I feel like then their phone is whoever's. Now, I realize there's circumstances, of course, but when they're checking Facebook and all those things, I feel like I'm not important. I was in Okinawa for 2 years. That was far enough. Jeannie, I think I've subscribed to you. Beth, I think you're my only moderator. Can you find her channel for me and put it in so my relay players can find it too? Joe did your string beans last night. Now, how do you cook them, Beth? Okay, I did, Jeannie. Good. I need to get on there and watch more. A lot of times I'm lurking when grandkids are here. They'll be playing and I'll start lurking. It's probably why they like to be at Nana's. They get undivided Nana attention. I wish Cheryl would come back with the coffee. Thank you, Beth. I appreciate it. Thank you, Lizzie. And isn't it sad that we have to do that? Oh, that's another cool one. Could take that apart. Okay. I cooked some of ours. I just broke the ends off and I fried some bacon and broke it up and set it aside and patted it good. Then I sauteed my green beans and onions, and mushrooms would have been good if I'd have had them, in that sauce with chili peppers, chili pepper, and garlic, because I don't use salt. And then cooked them. And oh, they were so good that way. I have no idea what kind of green beans these were. Beth, my son, planted them. He tills the garden, he plants them, and then when we got here, we pick them. Last year, we picked them and I snapped them, and he canned them. But this year, we canned them too because he was at the fair. And again, my husband enjoyed doing it. So that helps too. You know, Melody was the first one here. And Gail, now I like to send, I've been sending to my first two. Would you ladies like a piece of this? Oh, that's good too, Beth. I just really have to watch the bacon since my episode because I'm still new at all of this and we're still waiting to find out. Yes, we like them firm too. If my ablation worked. So far it has, but we're still finding. Oh, Gail, it is too important. It's very important. I will send you both some of that. I think Melody left. No, I send happy mail to my first two people. Teresa can attest to that. Melody's almost Melody or Teresa are usually my first, so I went to my second so other people could get happy mail too. So I will send some of these things I played with to you all. I found this when my sister and I were at Joann's. Isn't that perfect? I love this fabric. Oh, Melody, you're here. Do you want a piece of that fabric I jelly plated? Okay, I see where you answered. Okay. And then I have this one. I may have showed this earlier, but I'm just too excited about it that I need more people to ooh and ah. So those will, what I'm going to do for you late people, and I don't mean that in an ugly way whatsoever, because I've reached my over 100 followers. I have 101 now. I'm going to write down all the people who comment in my replay and all of you that come. Okay, Gail. Oh, Lizzie, thanks for coming by. Yeah, you go have some lunch. Gail, yes, I did. It worked really well. Tanya told me, and I learned this and had forgotten it, that like the paper, you want the floppy paper. I was going to try this paper towel, but didn't. So I didn't try this, but I tried the fabric and it worked really well and was kind of fun. But all those people in my replay and watched me live, I'm going to write down all your names. And then next Tuesday, I'll draw the name that gets a prize. I have no idea what the prize will be. If you have any ideas, I'm thinking just a package of goodies. So, it might have fabric, things that I brush showed, things jelly printed, those kind of things. I may put in, I have lots of vintage paper and that kind of thing. So I was thinking some of those things. Yes, they would, Beth. They'd be very cute. Oh, Beth, come right on up. Come right on up. But you got to be able to do the stairs. Well, Melody, that's what I thought. A packet of goodies. Okay, now, Beth, I don't have a milk cow. You'll have to go to my sister's, but she'll be good with that too. And the boys would be willing to let you milk. But she's got a 10-room guest house there for when all the children come back. So, but now you can milk a goat. If you want to milk a goat, you can. But her guest house is real nice. She gave every family has a room. And they take care of the sheets. They wash the sheets and bring them back. They take care of their own towels, the whole bit. So I find that pretty cool. I'm going to play with ATC cards, I believe. I'm going to play with this purple and this orange one because this needs something. And so I think I'm going to play with it now. What did I do with all of my book pages I just did? Well, I'll do book pages I haven't done. Oh, I will. I will, Melody, if she milks a goat. Jinrin, we're going to milk a goat. Well, Beth is going to milk a goat. Kathy is not. Because she wants to milk a cow. So I told her I didn't have a milk cow here. It's at my sister's. But she could milk the goat. And she just jumped right on that. So I think I'll let her. We've not, our mamas have claimed our babies. And now the twins that you see on the video, their mama lost her babies to another family that wanted to bottle feed. But right after that was when Lucky was born, and they wanted to make sure that that young mama would take him, but she did. So the other cow went dry. Jinrin, where are you at? Aren't you like Virginia or Colorado or someplace? I know those are so close. Oh, Jen, that would be good on a piece of pie. I have muffins in there, so I'm not baking pie. I have some people. Where are my people? I have to get some products out here. You're craving pie? Well, if I was closer, I'd make you a pie and bring it to you. I'd do that just for you. Well, you could share with your hubby and son. But they can't eat it all. They'd have to save some for Mama. Oh, I love to bake. I cook um, so we can eat. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I do it. But I bake a lot. Now, never have fried pies. Um, I tend, these were the first muffins. I hadn't made muffins. Um, I'd made lots of sweetbreads, but I hadn't made muffins. My family has a sweet tooth. And in Florida, um, I am known for my, well, and here too, I am widely known for my chocolate chip oatmeal cookies. In fact, a man who worked for Holiday Express with some big wig that was at a picnic we were at, my husband knew him from an organization he was in, ate one of my cookies and then later contacted me if I would bake them for the hotel, the local hotel, not all of them. And I told him no. I'm getting some glue. I have my glue thing on the floor. And I told him no. He goes, you know, you can make a lot of money doing that. And I said, that's not why I make them. It's an act of love. And if I have to bake them as a business, it won't be fun anymore. And I said, now I will give you the recipe. He didn't want the recipe. I think he was single. I don't remember one way or the other. But I've given the recipe to lots of people. But I'm not going to sell it. It was given to me. I don't have the right to sell it. And the person that gave it to me got it from somebody. I tweaked it some. It's a good recipe because you can make the dough and freeze it. And it doesn't have that in the freezer taste. You've never had any, Melody. Spaghetti salad. I'm going to have to look up on Pinterest for that. Now, if any of you want the recipe to that cookie recipe, I'm willing to put it in the description. It's nothing fancy, but I'm picky with my ingredients when it comes to them. I only use blue bonnet. I only use Nestle's milk chocolate chips. And, whoops, I only use a wooden spoon to stir. I do not use a mixer. The recipe said to use a wooden spoon, and I do. And because I have fibromyalgia, when my arm's tired, I quit. It's a cold salad. I will have to look that up. See what else. I take them out when they're gooey, because we don't like crunchy cookies. And I do not mess with the recipe as far as, oh, maybe nuts would be good, or, oh, maybe this would be good. A lot of things I do that with, but not everything. Hi, Stephanie. I am so glad you stopped in. Well, that didn't turn out well. Can I do it again? Been lurking. I like to lurk. I bet my stamps need cleaning. Yeah, I would rather have underbaked than overbaked goods any day. Yesterday, Marlene, for some reason, had these little silicone um cupcake, like you put in the muffin tin, the papers. Okay, Melody, I'll put it in. Um, and they didn't get done. And well, that just didn't work. Darn it. Um, they didn't get done. And so he had already put it on my plate, and we just thought it was gooey. We didn't realize it was runny. But the top was done. So it was good. Nana ate it. That was my muffin. A spaghetti salad, similar to a pasta salad. Huh. I love trying tried and true recipes from people. I'm not one that I know, or I know I trust them. I'm not one just to get out a cookbook and start cooking. Beth wants super easy and fast. Oh, with your soup, I bet is super easy and fast. I've kind of run my husband on anything in the crock pot with chicken. He's not a fan of it anymore. I did that when we were first married with Chinese food. You'd think I'd learn. But I do it too often, and then he's burned out. Okay. Now, he might like it with the tomatoes in it, but I won't. I will eat a raw tomato, and I will eat a tomato in my salad. Oh, shredded cheese in it. Yum. But I will not eat tomatoes in a salad, or if I can see it as a chunk, I don't eat it. But I was in my 20s before I would even eat a salad. I mean, a tomato. So I've come a long ways. Even as a baby, you try the baby foods. My mom said I wouldn't eat it. So, yes, Pam. And Gail, you can't stand them raw. Isn't it funny how we are all so different? I couldn't. I'd go throw up if my mom made me slice a tomato, Gail. I could not do it. And then I couldn't eat supper. And at first, I think she thought I just didn't like them. But then I think she decided maybe that wasn't the case. My grandmother, I don't know if I've said this before or not, Pam, I might have, kept a salt shaker outside in the garden, or took a salt shaker. When I was there, it was already there. So I'm sure she brought it in, or it would, the doing stuff in Illinois would have got to it. But so she had salt. Oh, the smell, Gail. So as she was working in the garden, she and my brother could, because my brother was over there a lot, eat them out of the garden and salt them. But tomato. Oh, you'll eat oh, Good for you, Gail. So you probably like them in pasta, like the macaroni and tomatoes. Yeah, I'll eat ketchup, Stephanie. But I wouldn't as a kid. I couldn't do that either. I wouldn't eat spaghetti. I wouldn't eat anything that looked like it had touched um, a tomato. Would not touch it. Do I want that on there? I think not. I'm kind of thinking I like that. Now I'm going to get a word to put on it because nothing's finished till there's a word on it. This one needs a word. And I hated it because even especially like in my teens and stuff, because you'd go out to eat and I'd always have, to say, tomato. Well, back then people weren't near as picky about their food. And so I was always embarrassed to say, to each his own. That's right. Well, and my brother always says if everybody else was like, it wouldn't be the wonderful world it is. He said, people are all different and that's okay. God knew what he was doing when he created us that way. I have one that says thoughts and one needs something right there. But I can put this thoughts one on. Oh, really, Gail? Oh, no. And I never made my son or grandkids eat things they didn't like. I figured, there's so much food going around. Oh, Gail, I'm so sorry that because there's too many. I always felt like there are too many other foods out there. And like with Andy, if I knew he didn't like something I was making, I would have macaroni and cheese, at least. I always had, when I did the farm cooking, I always had a meat and vegetable and a potato. Well, good, Gail. Well, there you go, Gail. Bless your heart. And I do the same way with the grandkids. Now, Emerson will always eat the vegetable. All I have to do is be sure I have a vegetable that she'll eat, and she's good. And a salad with both the kids. If I fix a salad, they're happy. They'll get full on the salad. And I don't cook for them enough that I can't cook things, that they like. But for my son on the farm, he does then. He's better now. Where did that flower come from? Well, it looks like a flower. But when Andy was working on the farm, I wanted to be sure he got just as full. But he to this day won't eat meatloaf. He won't eat anything with onions in it. Neither will his wife or kids. He doesn't eat like potato salad, any salads where you've got mayonnaise in it. Stephanie, I get that. I figured, Andy doesn't like my chili, but he loves his wife's. He would eat spaghetti if I didn't put the sauce on it. Well, I just made spaghetti in one pot and the sauce in another. There's so many ways to work it out and so many foods. He will not eat a mushy. Just a second, I've got to get a cough drop. He loved peas as a kid. So I could put peas on the table with another vegetable. I just didn't worry about it as long as everybody got full, and there was always dessert. So nothing else. I figured they could fill. I mean, I was fixing for sometimes 6 and 8 people. So I was kind of, I just wanted to leave my table full. That may have made a bad mama, but tough. That's how I was. I was at least feeding them because I fed. Well, Andy wasn't born when I fed the huge crowd. Or he was a baby. But every Saturday I'd have Greg and his dad and his brother and possibly all 4 of my brother's kids. I get that. Emerson's not a meat eater. She'll eat hamburger and spaghetti and baked ziti. She'll eat chicken. Sometimes she'll eat steak, but that's about it. I never cooked spinach until the last few years. I love cooked spinach, but yeah, we weren't supposed to waste food, but we had a choice of whether or not we put it on our plate. And I don't recall my mother or grandmother or dad, anyone making us clean our plate. But they watched our portions. Oh, Stephanie. Well, come on over, Jen. We have steak often because we butcher our own animals. I am too, Jeannie. I was born in September of 1960. September 5th, Labor Day. I always thought that's why people got a day off. I'm 56, see? Yeah, we're kind of that same generation there. My husband was born in 65. April of 60, so that's close enough. Somebody's talking about an age gap between a husband and wife, and we said, they said they were starting kindergarten when he was in high school. And we were laughing about, how that sounds awful. Buzz beef jerky. Yeah, I think a lot of us are in that same decade, 50s and 60s. And we said, after you get older, 10 years is nothing. Your mother-in-law's birthday and stepdad's birthday. You having a party? And they do change, Beth. They do change. Andy didn't like Jello and still doesn't as a baby. It scared him as a baby. But and he doesn't like it. Just doesn't like it now. But loved peas. He'd want peas instead of the Jello. Whole time he was in the babysitter and stuff like that. Now, couldn't care less about peas. I wouldn't say he hates them. I don't know. But my husband couldn't hardly look at peas. But they were Andy's favorite. So, yeah. Well, my granddaughter would rather have fresh fruit and vegetable. Well, she didn't eat muffins. She didn't want a muffin. She ate strawberries and blueberries, a popsicle after school. What do you say? You know, I love peas. I like creamed peas and potatoes. I haven't thought of that in years. See, and my husband, I just don't. Oh, I'm loving this, Mom. My mom's here. Mom, you didn't make us clean our plate, did you? I don't remember it if you did. Oh. I may have to have it, but I don't think Emerson or Jax, anybody, Nikki might eat it with me. Okay, Mom, you didn't. I couldn't remember you making us. All right. And I like to cook squash and zucchini raw. I love that now. Andy doesn't, but Nikki does. So we share those. Fresh peas, but not. I like them in a salad, you mean, Pam? Raw like that? Because I do like them in a salad. I've never just eaten them. I'm not one to do that. I did try a raw green bean. That wasn't too bad. See, I've never shredded it, Gail. Oh, I love cooked carrots. I'd rather have the cooked carrots in a roast than the potatoes. And I like them raw too. And they're real good with brown sugar and all that fattening stuff. Straight off the vine, Pam. You guys are spreading my horizons on that. Do I like that? Yay or nay? I think that's a nay. I did all these painting papers. I need to use some up. See, that's kind of Emerson. She likes the basic stuff, but she will eat you out of raw broccoli and cauliflower. But I asked her one day when she was eating it, I said, is it the ranch you like or the vegetables? And she laughed. I'm wanting to break up that green. Oh, candied carrots, candied sweet potatoes. And all I have thought out for supper is deer meat. I don't know if we even have any carrots. You won't eat deer? This was an old buck. I have no problem eating an old buck. Yeah, I married a hunter, and Andy and Jackson and Nikki and Emerson's getting into it now. I'm not. Greg took me when we were dating. I just don't see any purpose of just sitting there. Hi, Thread and Glue. How are you, Steffi? Right? Am I right on that, Steffi? We're talking about food. We're all going to eat a really good dinner tonight. Okay, Jean, what did you Google? You're Buddhist. Well, that would make a difference, Gail. That would make a difference. Oh, the Jello's what you're... Gotcha. On the back of my yogi tag. Be kind to others, but always be compassionate to yourself. Yogi tags always have little quotes on them. Made from powdered bone animal, or powdered animal bone. Yeah, we're carnivore, but I like my my meat. But I'm okay if I have more vegetables than meat, or if there's not much meat left over. We do lots of leftovers. Um, my husband's really good about that. I'm trying to make my cards flat. I tend to get them too puffy. They don't mail as well that way. So there's that. I'm making these kind of neutral so I can do whatever I want to with them. Bet I could do a card with that. We'll do this pretty flowered one. No, it's not. I prefer chicken. Deer isn't bad because there's low fat content. Um, and we do pork, but we do deer a lot. And when we raised elk for meat, it was healthier than chicken. But I have to have some kind of protein cheese or something, or I'm not full. I need to watch products that have gelatin in them, Gail. Okay. You just didn't like the taste. When I fix deer, I rarely do it like just deer burger. I will eat it, but I would rather use it for meatloaf and spaghetti and stuff like that because of the low fat. And there's no, and the grease and stuff that's not in it. Oh, Gina, you have got to watch Jen Rin on Saturday nights. Or is it Friday nights, Jen? Oh, red meat for your heart. Right. Right. Um, oh, Jen Rin gets together with Zena and Vanessa and Steffi and different ones. Is it Friday night or Saturday night? Oh my goodness, I have never laughed so hard as I did with theirs. Minced meat. I don't know that I've heard of minced meat pie, but I usually go for the sweet, creamy apples or peach pies instead of mincemeat. Saturday. Okay. Saturday nights. Oh my gosh. Now, Beth is on Saturday nights too, but usually these ladies are after Beth is on. And sometimes I'll juggle back and forth. I wonder if Papered Rooster is here because I got a bunch of, not a bunch, but I got several roosters on here. Papered Rooster, if you're lurking or in the replay, let me know if you want these roosters. Yeah, I understand, Gail. Okay, Jen. I want that man. Oh, maybe we'll do this. Oh, that covers it too well. You know, I hate to say this because I love my granddaughter dearly, but this has been fun today. If nothing else, Jeannie, have that notification thing on, and then you won't miss it. The other night, was it Sunday night? I could not sleep. And I'm just going through Facebook. I'm going through YouTube. I'm trying to read. I'm trying to anything. And Zena was on. I do too, Jeannie. I forget. And Zena came on. I was on. Jen Wren came on. She wasn't feeling good. Angie Brown came on. She got up to go to the bathroom and saw it. She got on. I think there were 10 of us sitting there talking and in the middle of the night. and Zena's just a crafting. It was entertaining. Last Saturday night, Zena took us on a road trip. Oh, I think Marty was there. And she was wanting coffee from Wawa. Well, I never heard of Wawa. And neither had Marty. You know, when you live in little bitty towns, you don't have all that stuff. So Zena takes her phone, drives to Wawa with us. And so we're sitting there watching Jen Wren craft, Zena on a road trip. We're in the car with her. She drove safely, got her coffee, watched the whole time. I watched them too last night, Pam, but when they were on, a little girl was on my lap. So I just pretty much got the live chat, and once in a while I would hear some of their talk, and I finally just gave up. And then Emerson's mom and dad came to pick her up, and so sometimes people are more important. Yes, Vanessa. Was that you that was on, or wasn't that Jen Rand's? Did you go too on that little field trip? So now if you hear Marty and I and some of us say field trip, you'll know what we mean. I have to do that a lot too, Pam. You know, isn't it awful when life gets in the trip? You were on the trip, Vanessa. Yeah. You were sicky though, weren't you, friend? Okay, well, this is what I've accomplished, excluding all of the painty papers. I've made a card. I've made a Rolodex. What else have I decorated? I thought I had another Rolodex decorated. I'm sure I do here somewhere. I don't know where it's at. Huh. I'll find it. And here are some things I did this morning. Yeah, the Kermit voice. That's right. Okay, Jen Rand. That's what I thought. It was a hoot. See, I wouldn't have thought I could do that. It wouldn't have ever crossed my mind that I could get in my car and do YouTube at the same time. And we didn't know. I guess she didn't know either. Yeah, we all placed an order and only Zena got something. What was with that? That wasn't very nice. And she drank it in front of us. How dare her? Well, I thank you all for spending the morning with me. Oh, that's right. She got something for her daughter because that was one of the reasons she went. See, I forgot that part. But it's just, ever since I found them, I laugh and laugh. Not out loud because Greg would be looking at me like, I'd lost my mind a bit. Well, I'm glad people are getting on the mend, are feeling better. I'm hoping I do soon. Up there's the, no, that's the one I think I showed. I don't know. It'll show up or it won't. I appreciate y'all stopping in and visiting. I'm ready for some hot tea for my throat. Probably won't eat anything. Appetite's not there. But you all have a great day. And remember, you have a purpose. Bye for now.